no joke, James Harden finishes with 38 points in 39 minutes, almost 40 minutes of play. 38 points, 10 rebounds, 11 assists, fucking 4 3-pointers. Just a great overall performance there. Again, getting everybody involved. Anderson with 16, Ariza with 12, Beverly with 13, Gordon with 13 off the bench, Nene with 12 off the bench. Lou Williams only needed 5 that game. Great overall performance, holding well, not really holding Cleveland to 112 because that's quite a bit, but, being able to put up 117 on a good Cleveland team that has, LeBron play 40 minutes, put up 30 points, 7 and 5. Kyrie Irving, 28 points. R. Jeff, 16, but not a ton of points from anybody else, and proves to be problematic at the end for him. This Rocket team, I'd be more worried about playing the Rockets than the Spurs in the playoffs this year. Straight up, I would be more worried about playing the Rockets. For any team, doesn't matter who you are. I think the Rockets are the biggest mismatch issue for every single team in the playoffs. I really do. Worse even for Golden State, who plays a lot of small ball. I still think that there's going to be too much spreading. They spread the floor more than Golden State. They have more scorers that they can plug into different positions than Golden State. I mean, that's pretty fucking crazy. They don't have a big of a 3 or 4 at all, nor has anybody ever, but they're much deeper after that. They have fucking a 4 or 5 after that they can plug in to shoot fucking threes and shit. So, good team. They probably have 4 after that. All right, moving on. Who else are we talking about? Porzingis, the boy Kristaps. He hurts his thigh. Doesn't really say anything other than he hurts his thigh. And he missed last night's game. I know that when the home loss to Brooklyn. Doesn't really matter. They're 15 games under 500. I remember when they were 16-16. So since then they have gone 11-26, which is not good, obviously. But yeah, misses last night's game. Hopefully he's okay. There's still really not any updates on it's just like a bruise, like a thigh bruise, I guess. And let's see when they can play next. They don't play till like Monday or whatever, so honestly, he should be back by then. That would be a shitty loss if not. But you never like to see young people get hurt. Never like to see old people get hurt either. But you never like to see, up and comers. Kristaps, a true fucking unicorn. Man, my favorite player, just about everybody's favorite player to watch on the Knicks. Get well, young man. Alrighty, what else are we going to talk about here? Larry Sanders, the Cavaliers trying to sign some more depth. They get a 6'11", 235 Larry Sanders, the one who used to play for VCU, was drafted by the Bucks, hasn't played in 2 years. Pretty lanky, though. Good rebounder. That's definitely what they're going to need, so they can give Tristan Thompson a little bit of rest, or Kevin Love a little bit of rest, assuming, that... who knows how Kevin Love's health is going to be. It might go south for him again. He might not be able to play as many minutes as you'd like, which has been the case in the past. There's not really any reason to assume any different right now. Probably a pretty good pickup. We'll see how it pans out for him. I think he played last night. No, he didn't play. He was on the roster, but didn't play. Got a DNP, coach's decision, along with was that Derek Williams? No, James Jones. That's random, too. James Jones is a great three-point shooter. If you remember, like a month or two ago, LeBron James said he was the best three-point shooter of all time. Interesting. But he's been kind of hanging out with him forever. He was over in Miami with him winning championships, and then over here winning and losing championships and doing all the good shit. But good pickup there for Cleveland, I think. We'll find out. Maybe not. Honestly, it could be a bad pickup. If it was such a great pickup, why was no other team interested in him? You know what I mean? Probably because what he offers is a very specific set of skills. And that very specific set of skills is exactly what Cleveland Cavaliers need to win a championship. All right. Moving on. Lakers hire a new GM. Ex-sports agent Rob Pelinka is hired as the new general manager of the Los Angeles Lakers. Going to do some sort of a teaming up situation with Magic Johnson. I'm not entirely sure how it's going to work. Johnson's going to be the face, obviously. Pelinka probably going to be the brain and the voice a little bit. Apparently he has to do some sort of a genetic test to prove that he's not Rob Lowe. That's what Fox Sports is claiming. I believe that. I believe that for sure. Good looking dude. Um, but yeah, I'm not entirely sure. He definitely knows players. He's been a sports agent for the majority of his life. He's only 47 years old, so he's pretty young as well. He, some of the people that he has been an agent for: Kobe, Derek Williams, Dion Waiters, KD, Carlos Boozer, Andre Drummond. Mainly people when they're younger, actually. But he's here. He's here, and I guess he's going to do. Hopefully, he's going to do a great job. It's been a pretty difficult last 4 years in Lakerland, and I think we have a good coach. Luke Walton's a good coach. I think it's pretty difficult to tell this season because it kind of feels a little bit like the team has digressed rather than progressed. But it's difficult when you're coaching a bunch of 23 or 24-year-olds. And it's probably difficult when you're like 36 yourself and you're trying to coach a bunch of 23 and 24-year-olds in the NBA, trying to be LeBron James and people like that. Oh, man, I hope that we can pull some sort of a lottery deal here. It's crazy, man. I thought that this Lakers team was going to evolve with the D'Angelo Russell, Julius Randle team, essentially. And now it looks like it's actually probably going to be a Brandon Ingram, whoever we draft this year. If we can get the number one of the two pick, it's going to be great for us. Team moving forward. And we'll probably, I guess, DeMarcus Cousins is possibly interested in coming out this direction. We have a lot of money to spend. That would be a fantastic little roster, especially if we could keep Randall for a year as just a good four. Man, he really is a good four. Not great. He was seemed like he may have been on the verge of greatness earlier in the season. Luke Walton said he was the most physically athletic player in the league. I think the fastest, strongest player in the league. Something like that is what he said. Probably not true, but that lets you know, somewhat what he is. He's a freak in the gym, it seems like. All in all, I'm happy the Lakers have gotten this shit figured out. It's kind of a dark cloud just looming over the situation the entire year, essentially, and last few years, honestly. And I'm just happy that it is resolved and we can now move forward and try to build a team. And moving on to what is probably the best news from the NBA that we're going to be talking about. For the first time in the history of the NBA so far, because we do have 15 games plus a postseason to go, no head coaches have been fired from any team for the first time in NBA history. Literally ain't nobody losing jobs. Talk about making America great again, huh? How about that shit? Promises and delivers. All right, baby. But yeah, pretty cool news there. I like that. I just like to see some sort of continuity like that. I always thought it was ridiculous to fire your coaches as in the middle of this, unless it's something extremely drastic, not just we need a change in the atmosphere and fire the coach. That's ridiculous because it takes a while. The continuity is huge. It takes a while for players to get to know coaches, for coaches to get to know players. It's not easy. It's not like you just fire a coach and some fucking savant comes in and all of a sudden you're good. That's rare, to say the least. That's fucking rare. So, this is pretty interesting news, pretty good. I think that nobody will get fired. I think it's a little bit too late in the season. I don't think anybody sees their season changing in the last 15 games because of a different coach. I definitely don't think it's going to happen in the playoffs. I don't think any team's going to fire their coach in the playoffs. So, if all of that goes together, it looks like for the first time in NBA history, no head coaches are going to be fired. Probably will be in the offseason. I would imagine, 2 or 3 are going to be switched in the offseason at least. There's even talks about Doc Rivers maybe retiring, amongst others. But as far as the season goes, everybody can kick your feet up a little bit. And as far as news goes, I think that pretty much brings us to the end of the news part of the show and to everybody's favorite part of the show, the weekly top 10 power rankings. Can't really remember what order or what direction I like to go. I think I've been switching it up a little bit, but we're going to go 10-1 this time. Alrighty. So, without a further stoppage, number 10, The Toronto Raptors, moving down 2 spots last week. From last week, I had them at the number 8 position. Just keep losing, honestly. I thought about having them at number 9. When I was writing this last night before that Oklahoma City game, I had them at number 9. And then after that game, I just really couldn't keep them in that position. It just didn't make any sense to me. They have a damn good team, especially with DeRozan. I mean, there's literally no reason they should be losing these many games. Perplexing, to say the least. Let's see, they're the number 4 seed in the Eastern Conference, which nobody really saw coming at the beginning of the year, I don't think. I thought they were generally a consensus for sure number 2, really. And the crazy thing is actually they're closer to the 5 seed than they are the 3 seed. They're 2 games away from number 5, 2.5 from the number 3 seed, 5-5 in their last 10. I mean, I just couldn't rank them any higher than number 10. You know, DeRozan, even with DeRozan, they're still losing games. It's crazy. When they only had Kyle Lowry, they were still losing games. They really needed both of those pieces, plus the surrounding team, to be a team that maybe is the number 6 or maybe the number 5 team or something like that in the. All right, moving on to a team that was not in the rankings last week, and the team that beat the Toronto Raptors and took the 9th spot last night in my power rankings, the Oklahoma City Thunder. Oklahoma, Russell Westbrook is obviously going to be the leader emotionally, physically, statistically of that team. No surprises there. The surprises that I do think that most people don't realize is the surrounding team on that team is a fantastic team. Victor Oladipo, very good guard, averages like 16, 17 a game. Could average probably 20 or 21, 22. Fantastic defensive player, though. Steven Adams, again, fantastic defensive player. And they got the big one, too. So when Adams goes to the bench, they have Enes Kanter coming off the bench. I think he put up 18 points off of the bench the other day in that win. Was it that win? Let me look at it. It was the win the week before, but yesterday he puts up 14 points and 7 boards in 19 minutes. I mean, what more could you ask out of somebody? Between him and Steven Adams, you get 24 points and 12 rebounds, 3 assists. It's pretty damn good. And you throw Taj Gibson in there, you have a good 4, a 4 who can score, another defensive presence. This is one of the better defensive teams in the league, man. Westbrook doesn't try to play D, but if you have Steven Adams, Taj Gibson, and Oladipo in your starting 5, that's pretty damn good. They also have McDermott coming off the bench to shoot some twas. They have Domantas Sabonis as well coming off the bench, providing some scoring and a little bit of big man, a little bit of rebounding. Good team. This is a good team, man. Anyway, that's basically the reason I have them at the number 9 spot in the West, or overall, number 9 overall. I think they're the number 6 team in the West right now. Let me look at this. They are number 6. They are a half game behind the Clippers for the number 5 seed. They're only a half game in front of Memphis, though. But let's see who plays of these 3 tonight. None of them play tonight. Oklahoma City is going to host the Kings tomorrow. That should be a win there. Clippers are going to host the Cavaliers tomorrow. That is, we could see the Clippers in 6th and Oklahoma City up to number 5, which would be pretty fucking fantastic considering they just lost 5 games in a row 2 weeks ago, before their recent little stretch here. And then Memphis at home hosting San Antonio. So definitely the 2 tougher games are going to be for the Clippers and the Grizzlies, even though they're at home as well. But Oklahoma City at home at 1 in the afternoon tomorrow against the Kings. I expect to see a dope-ass performance out of Russ in that game. I might even watch that game. All right, moving on to the number 8 team, a team that drops 1 spot from last week, the Washington Wizards. Same thing. That loss basically to the Mavericks has, pulled them back a little bit. Like I said yesterday, I have a team that jumped 5 spots in this thing. So everybody kind of falls back 1. Washington falls back 1. Still have probably the best backcourt in the league. I think that Wall and Beal are probably better than Lowry and DeRozan. Actually, that's ridiculous because Steph Curry and Klay Thompson are better than them. But, you know,